Hey, I'm Holly from The Run Experience. Today we are talking sprinting versus distance running, why you need both. It's not just enough to run one speed all day, every day. You need to mix things up. Any distance you are training for, this is definitely vital. Let's get into why. So sprinting versus distance running, let's define these two terms before we go into anything else. Sprinting is defined in competitive running as anything 400 meters distance or below. For the purposes of this video, sprinting can be considered anything from 10 seconds all the way up to 2 to 3 minutes. So depending on your running level, that would be the time frame for the sprinting. Distance running can be defined in competitive running as anything 1 mile or over. And again, in the context of this video and any of our training plans, any of your 5Ks, half marathon, marathon, that will obviously be considered distance running as well. The 800 meter distance can be considered kind of the crossover between sprinting and distance running. So what happens to your body when you're sprinting? When you're going all out for those 10 seconds or maybe more, what does your body need to do to produce that sprint speed? So for one, you are taxing your anaerobic system. You are creating higher muscle fatigue levels. So when you wake up the next day after some sprints and your quads are just annihilated, you're just super sore, that is a result of your body buffering and processing lactate. So that's lactic acid buildup in those muscles. You had to push harder for a much shorter period of time, and that's what the body had to do to produce that speed. Because sprinting is demanding so much more power out of our bodies, it becomes that much more important to move well. Your form matters, and it matters right away. So if you're only running for 10 seconds at a time, it's super important to get that foot strike, the arm swing, everything super dialed in from the very first second. Sprinting is also a really good opportunity to work on that top end speed, a higher turnover rate, and a longer stride length. All these factors go into making you a faster runner, and all of these little things can take off a second or two when it really matters on those shorter distances. So what is distance running? What is happening to that body when you are out there for your long run day, or maybe just running that mile around the track? What is different from sprinting? One of the biggest things is you are going to be improving your aerobic endurance with every long run. You are constantly working on increasing the amount of oxygen you're bringing into those muscles to support you from start to finish. The other thing that happens on a long run or a distance run is you are working on stabilizing your breathing. So controlling that breath from start to finish, not feeling panicked at all, finding a pace that you can control for the whole thing. Lastly, making sure that that form is really well tuned in. On a distance run, you're not going to maybe notice a hamstring gets blown out. You're not going at that sort of speed, but over time, habits can show up and become gradual if not properly taken care of. So super important to get that mobility work in between those distance runs, of course, between the sprints as well. So why do we need both sprinting and distance running in our training plan? No matter what distance you are training for, mixing it up is key. What we do here is we become a more well-rounded athlete. You can become way less prone to injury, and you are just going to have more tools available to you. So being able to breathe at that higher speed as well as for a longer period of time is super key. It is really important to do both of these things, you guys. The sprinting gives you the power and explosiveness. That longer endurance training gives you the ability to just hang on for longer and really stabilize your body under stress. Mix those things up, you are going to be a much stronger runner down the road. So sprinting versus I want to keep saying, so what happens when we sprint? So we talked about both of the speed training and the distance training. Anything above that would be considered distance running. No? Fuck. If you are interested in learning more about training with us, we have an awesome service called the Training Club. This is a membership that includes access to all of the programs we've ever created, from beginner running all the way up to marathon training and everything in between, that injury prevention, mobility work, nutrition advice, all of that stuff. You can check it out by clicking the link down in the description below. If you liked this video, make sure you hit that like button. Any comments or questions or something you wanted to contribute info-wise around this subject, drop that in the comments. And lastly, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We have brand new videos coming out every single week on everything around running, nutrition, strength, all that stuff. And you can get that by subscribing. Thanks for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next one.